in the dusty outskirts of a small Arizona town in the late 1800s. Where the red rocks met the endless plains, a young Apache woman named Lona lived with her band on the edge of the reservation. The white settlers had pushed her people farther into the harsh land, but Lona was known for her sharp eyes and curious spirit. She often ventured near the trading post, watching the newcomers from afar, their strange clothes, their wagons, and their families. One hot afternoon, Lona hid behind a cluster of mesquite bushes, observing a settler couple on their homestead. The man, a tall rancher named Tom, and his wife, Mary, were in their cabin with the door ajar. Lona had seen white people before, but never like this. Mary was heavy with child, her belly round under her apron. Tom knelt beside her on the bed, his hands gentle on her shoulders as he kissed her deeply. It was no quick embrace like the ones Lona knew from her own people, where children came from the spirits, blessings, and the quiet unions under the stars. This was different, passionate, lingering, with whispers and touches that seemed to spark something fierce. Mary laughed softly as Tom pulled her closer, their bodies entwining in a way that made Lona's cheeks burn. She had heard whispers from traders about how white people made love openly, without the rituals or the midwives' herbs her tribe used. In Apache ways, birth was natural. Women squatted or walked through labor, aided by family, using plants like cohosh to ease the pain. No lying flat like the weak, they said. But here, this act looked like a dance of fire. Lona's heart raced. Her own husband had been killed in a skirmish with soldiers 2 winters ago, leaving her childless and alone in her grief. The elders spoke of strength in solitude, but Lona longed for a child to carry on her blood, to feel life grow inside her again. Watching Tom and Mary, she wondered if this white way held some secret power, some magic that made strong babies quickly. Unable to hold back, Lona stepped out from the bushes. "So white people make children like this," she called out boldly, her English broken from trades. The couple startled, pulling apart. Mary gasped, clutching her shawl, while Tom reached for his rifle instinctively. "Can I try as well?" Lona asked, her voice curious, not mocking. She pointed at them, then at her own flat belly. "I see you. Strong way. I want baby too." Tom's face turned red, a mix of shock and anger. This was no place for an Indian woman to spy. He thought savages, they called her people. But Mary, kinder-hearted and heavy with her own impending birth, saw the innocence in Lona's eyes. "Child, what are you saying?" Mary asked gently, sitting up. Lona approached cautiously, hands open to show no threat. She explained in halting words, her loss, her longing, how Apache women birthed in the old ways, moving freely, with herbs and songs. But she had seen no child come to her since her man's death. "Your way ... different. Passion, maybe better." Tom grumbled, telling her to leave, but Mary hushed him. In those days, tensions ran high between settlers and Apache's raids. Broken treaties, children taken to schools far away. Yet Mary felt a pang of sympathy. She herself feared the hospital birth the doctor insisted on, lying still on a table like the dead, far from home. Over the next weeks, an unlikely friendship formed. Mary invited Lona to the homestead under Tom's wary eye. Lona shared Apache stories of birth, how women danced through pain, used smoke baths to relax, and buried the placenta to honor the earth. Mary, in turn, spoke of love's intimacy, how it bound families in white ways. One evening, as Mary's labor began, complications arose. The pains came fierce, and the baby wouldn't come. Tom rode for the doctor, but a storm delayed him. Lona, who had been visiting, sprang into action. "No, lie down," she urged. "Move like our way." With Lona's help, Mary walked the cabin, squatting when the urge hit, breathing deep. Lona brewed tea from herbs she'd carried, red raspberry leaf for strength. Hours passed in sweat and cries, but finally, a healthy boy emerged into Lona's waiting hands. Tom returned with the doctor to find his son alive, Mary exhausted but beaming. The doctor marveled at the natural birth, crediting luck. But Tom knew better. He looked at Lona with new respect. In gratitude, Tom offered Lona work on the ranch tending horses, a fair wage. Months later, a young Apache warrior from a nearby band, seeking peace, began trading there. His name was Koda, strong and kind. Drawn to Lona's spirit, he courted her in the old way, with gifts and songs. One night, under the stars, Lona shared what she'd learned. Their union was passionate, blending traditions fierce like the Hoyts she'd seen, grounded like her people's earth. Soon, Lona's belly swelled. She birthed a daughter in the Apache way, squatting by the river, with Mary's help this time. The child had dark eyes and a cry like thunder. Word spread in the town, the curious Apache woman who bridged worlds. Tensions eased a little. Trades grew fairer. Lona never forgot her bold question, but she learned that children come not from one way alone, but from love curious, enduring across divides. Years on, Lona's daughter played with Mary's son, two worlds touching in the dust of Arizona. And Lona smiled, knowing curiosity had birthed more than a childhood had birthed understanding.